Gloomspite Gitz players. You should watch this. So, basically this video is going to be about the Gloomspite Gitz, the latest balance update, and some advice regarding list building. And I'm going to talk briefly about the new battle profile and the points update. And also I'm going to give you a couple of examples of lists that I think will be competitive in the latest update. So I'm not going to be talking about the most fun list to play, but it's going to be an efficient list or a couple of lists that I think will be useful since the latest update. And besides that, I'm just gonna show you a little bit like why I'm building the lists I'm building, and yeah, let's get to it. So basically, we're gonna start off right here. We have the points update. The Dancold Trog boss up by 10 points. He can be useful in some lists. He's not included in any of the lists that I'm talking about today, so I'm not going to talk much about him. The Fungoid Cave Shaman stays at 100 points, and he can be useful, so he's in one of the lists I'm going to show you, or maybe two. The Loon Boss, not that interesting for me, although it has a point drop. Since I rarely play Moon Clan, I go with the Rock Guts because they're still very, very useful, which we're coming to down here. But an interesting choice now is the Loon Boss on Giant Cave Squig. I think you can use him, like the point drop makes him interesting. And I would also say that Skragrott is, in most of the list I'm going to show you, he's an auto-include, and that's mostly because of his spells. Like his own spell is really, really powerful and can change a game completely if you use it at the right moment and if you got a bit of luck. Yeah, and also his ability to have the moon, or to move or not to move the moon, is very, very important, I think, personally. And we have the Squig Boss with Gnasha Squig, plus 20 points. He was in most of my lists before. He's not anymore, but he is in a few because of this new thing. Like, so you can still keep him. You can put him with Skragrott, for example, and use him as a hero there in that list. And he's still very good if you play anything with squigs. Especially, I think the mortal wounds buff is good. And besides that, like as you probably know, like all the spiders suck. They still do, even with the points drop. They're not going to be good. I'm selling all of mine at the moment. I got a bunch. I was hoping for them to be good in 4th editions, but they're not. So they're going for me. Also interesting is going to be like with all the new units and what's going to come with that. But we're not there yet, so I'm going to post this video up until that time. And then we got so the interesting thing down here for me, the Gobapalosa is still at 150 points, and I think that's a very good unit. You can have it as a unit holding objectives. You can have it as a unit just throwing around buffs. The Rend plus 1 Rend is very, very good. Although it can be kind of tricky to position yourself so you get it off at the right moment. They can also, like, they're pretty durable, especially in the first rounds when they got the better ward save. We're gonna go and look at the different battle scrolls for the units that I'm talking about now. We got the Boingrot Bounders that I think is one of the best choices if you want something to be able to deal with the battle plans, because you know, as of now, you have to be able to take the flanks, you have to be able to move, and if you run lists with a lot of rock guts that I do, they're not very fast. So you have to find a way to like move different units that are faster to be able to score all the battle tactics. So I think the Mangler Squigs are definitely better now. Like, there's still a lot of luck in the rules there, but with the point drop, like, I can see that people will bring them into lists. Personally, I think it's a bit too much of a gamble. It can be very, very good though, if you're lucky. And the Rock Guts, surprisingly, I think, still stayed at 190 points, which is very, very good for Gitz players. I mean, they're probably the strongest unit we have at the moment. So I would say, for me, it's not included in all of my lists right now. The Squig Herd got an annoying 10 point increase, which, I mean, I think it's fair, but it's you have to build the lists a bit different now because of that, and they're still really, really good, I think. So you can use them, and they're a good filler as well if you want to just like find something to fill out the lists. That's that, and now we're gonna go and talk about the some of the updates that might be interesting as well. So the seasonal rules update, we have a few new we got a few new what's it called, honor guards. Well, we got this thing with the underdog. It's, I mean, for me in English, I'm a native speaker of Swedish. It's gonna be too complex to talk about and at this point, and it's not super interesting to this video, so I'm gonna skip that part. But the this is the thing I'm talking about. So now in the beginning, they added, like, you can still pick these that you have before, and then now you have the field sergeant that I think can be pretty useful, because you can add +2 to the move characteristics of a non-fly infantry unit while they are wholly within 12 of the honor guard. So that's really good. Like, for example, you could pick the Squig Boss and have him surrounding the, or like in the middle of the rock guts, and all of a sudden you have 8 movement instead of 6, and that makes them pretty fast. So I think that would be like, that's an interesting option that I'm definitely gonna look into. I haven't really built the list around that yet, but it can be very efficient. I got one list that I'm going to show you that I think can be efficient with that that honor guard thing. And besides that, we got another new honor guard that is not like not super interesting for this list, so I'm not going to talk about that either. We also got so here we have a summary. The Loom Boss have a different thing with the ability now. Bite the Moon gives +1 to hit instead of +1 to wound. It's not in my list, so we don't really have to talk about that. Just want to show you what's new. And that's that. So we've been looking at this list. Now we looked at that. And sorry for having this so small. I'll make it big for you. I don't know how to do that. There we go. There we go. There we go. And now you can read it better. So it's this one that I'm talking about. I'll give you a few seconds. So talking about that, or while you're reading, let me know if there's anything else you want me to look into or show you. Like, I can, I play some different armies. I'm still, I would say, very new to the hobby and very new to Age of Sigmar, but it's a fun game, and I think that I'm a decent player for having played as little as I have. This is also like this YouTube project that I'm making right now is I'm gonna show you a bit of everything. As you can see in the background, I play a lot of board games. I got even more in the back of my room. I will make battle reports probably, and they might be in Swedish, might be in English, not sure. I make some how to play videos with board games and stuff like that. I will also have like other things in my life, such as golf or reviews, unboxings, maybe just average day in my life. I'll see what's going to be up there. So feel free to help me with this YouTube project. Like, hit the like button, subscribe, and whatnot. Write a comment. I will actually also have a giveaway soon with a company that's gonna support me, even though I'm new, so that's fun. We're gonna start to look into the lists. So I made this with New Recruit, which I'm not sponsored by them or anything, but I like. If you're at the, if you don't want to pay for the Age of Sigmar app having multiple lists, you can always use this. You can save lists. I'm gonna do this and show you just how it looks. So you can build lists from here, and you add stuff, and then you can see, if you make an account, you can see the list you made. I just made these like for this video, and I'm not really like, I'm not using this, but it's a great tool. I use the Age of Sigmar app, although I still haven't paid to get to build multiple lists, so that's kind of annoying because I delete them and then I like take print screens and then I delete them and make a new one and so on, back and forth. Let's go. So here, with all of the lists, I'm gonna go with the squiggle ends because I think that's more important to have rather than having the extra heal after they fought the rockets. So I prefer having the squiggle ends formation. Let's just see if I got, yeah, we got it here. Here we got it. Yeah. There we go. So the squiggle ends, basically every squig unit that you have riding on squigs, or if there's squigs, they get one extra attack when they charge, which is very useful for the bounders that I'm building this list around. So we got 15 rockets, 2 reinforced. We got Skragroth the Loon King, which I think is awesome. I'm going to show you why I think he's awesome. We got the Bonegroth Bounders reinforced, another one reinforced, and a reinforced Squig Herd. And as the hero for the 2nd regiment, so this is a 2-drop, we got the Loon Boss on Giant Cave Squig with the Clammy Cowl and the Loon Touch. So he's 1-cast Wizard, or Power 1 is it called, which is useful because then you still got 2. So that's good. And I also have their own spells in here. I think they're also like, they're very efficient. Like you can use all of them, and some are stronger than others, and some are very situational. But I mean, sometimes just the mushrooms makes tons of damage for me if I put it in the right spot. And yeah. So a little bit about the oh yeah, you could read about that there. I didn't know that. So that's good. They show that. They show the spells, so we can look at the spells here. I thought we had to go on this, or I mean on this site to look at it, but we got it here. So let's do that. The thing that's good about the let's start with spells, because why not? So you see the casting values, sorry, like 6, 7, 6, 7. pretty decent, and this is how you're allowed to set them up. I would say the most, the one that sticks out is the mushroom that stands still, it can't move. But the moon gives the light on the bad moon to units that are wholly within 12 of this manifestation, which is good, especially if the moon moved away from you or if it's in the wrong corner or whatever. You can put this up, and then you still get the ability that it gives. So, and the ability that it gives, we can look at that here. Not here. Sorry about that. We can look at it here. Under the light of the bad moon. So for my list, this is what's interesting. So it's it's this one, the Troggoth, the Rockguts. They have one extra save, or one save, add one to the save rolls, I should say. And so the squigs, you can reroll the random characteristics for the roll of the move characteristics, which, like, it's not the best, but it can be useful. I think most of the time the Boingrot Bounders still gets where you want them, but sometimes, I mean, you need it. But especially this one, I think is very important. Let's go back. We have the mushroom, and so this ability is for every model, the enemy model that is within 6 of this manifestation, each 5+ inflicts 1 mortal damage on the target. So it's like every single model. So it can be 4 out of 1 unit and 2 in another. Everything within 6, not wholly within. So within can be like, you can, if you put it at the right spot and the opponent isn't really like paying attention, then you can inflict a lot of damage with that. This one I use like usually in the opponent's turn. I spend 1 command point to cast this spell, and if I get it up, you get 1 extra to the power lever of the wizard. So basically, if you get it up, the next turn it will be next to your wizard, and then you will have 2 casts instead of 1, or 3 casts instead of 2, depending on what wizard you have. So that's very, very good. And that's like usually the first thing I try to get out. Then we have Scuttletide. Don't use that quite as much. I put it up somewhere, sometimes as a screen. But it can, you know how it is with manifestations, they can be charged and so on. So it's not always that good to have it. And then you have their own spells. So they have the Sneaky Distraction. I don't like, I think it's good, but it's difficult. This one is unlimited, so you can cast it with different wizards, which is good, and like multiple times. And it's wholly within 12 of the caster. Subtract 1 from hit rolls for attacks made by enemy units. Wholly within 12 of the caster. So it's kind of situational. Like, you have to position your wizard at a spot where you might not want it to be. But if you put the wizard behind, for example, the Rockguts, then you might be all right with that. And that's pretty good to subtract 1 from the hit rolls. I think that's probably one of the most useful ones here. Spore Moss, the Hand of Gork to teleport. I mean, teleport is teleport. It's good. You can use to move the Rockguts, for example, very quickly along the board. And you have the Spore Moss that has D3 for you pick 3 targets, and yeah, you can read it for yourself. But I use it sometimes. It's good if you have 3 targets to pick up, that it's gonna do some mortal damage, so that's fine. The Scragrot that I talked about, why I want to pick him and why I think he's good, it's like it doesn't really have anything to do with the stats he has up here. It's more that he's, well, he's the general of the army, and he also has this one. You can choose whether the bad moon moves to the next location or stays in the current location instead of rolling a die. I think that one is probably the best one, the best ability that he has. And it's very important during the game, I think. As I mentioned earlier about the +1 save to the rockets is very, very useful. And the other thing that makes up for his value is his own spell. Casting value of 7, Fangs of the Bad Moon. Pick a visible enemy unit within 18 of this unit to be the target. And 18 is a pretty good distance. Then make a casting roll of 2d6. Roll a number of die equal to the unmodified casting roll if you make it, if you make a 7 or better. And for each 3+, inflict a 1 mortal damage on the target. So this can completely like turn around a game if you get this off in the right at the right time. The rockets, why are they so good? Yeah, because they have the 4-up save and they have a 5-up ward. So they're very, very durable. As long as you have them under the light of the bad moon, they also have a 3+ save. And I forgot to add a terrain piece to this, to these lists, but the terrain piece, you can bring back half a unit in the end of your battle round, or maybe it's either battle round. Sorry about that, don't remember. But it's also very good. So you can get, basically you can get back 190 points of durable rockets. And you can also, so one thing about that, like try to keep your moon safe. But it's also like you also want it pretty far ahead, because that also have the under the light of the bad moon wholly within 12 of it, I think it is. So you also want to have it a little bit offensively, but make sure that people not come in from behind and charge it and knocks it down, because it's a very useful piece. And if you get all rounds being able to like get back a unit 5 rounds, that's going to be a lot of points you get back on the battlefield, and it's going to be difficult for your opponent to wipe you. So this list, it has let's go back up here. So it has 15 of the rockets, which I think like it's a lot, but they're very, very good. And now we're gonna go into the Loon Boss. That's the regiment leader for the 2nd regiment. And so I think he's like, it's kind of ballsy to have him, because I want to have him as a wizard, but he can also die since he's a bit more offensive. Let's get balancing is good. So you can pick friendly non-hero squid cavalry, so the Boingros Bounders, that has not used a fight ability this turn and is within this unit's combat range to be the target. The target can be picked to use a fight ability immediately after the fight ability used by this unit has been resolved. If you do so, add 1 to hit rolls for the target's attacks for the rest of the turn. So basically, when you charge with this and have a Boingros Bounders within combat range, you can fight with this first, and then immediately after fight with the Boingros Bounders unit. And then they also have +1 to hit rolls. So that's very, very good. Then you won't have to spend a command point for +1 to hit, for example. And he does decent damage. Remember, he also get +1 attack on this when he charge because of the Squigglelands. And I would rarely spend any command points at like all out attack or anything like that on him. And so I put on him, so he's a wizard, and I also made him -1 to hit with the Climate Coal. Yeah, that's it. Let's go down to the Boingork Bounders. We got them here. And the Boingork Bounders, they will have a bunch of attacks. They have a very good movement. Well, you can reroll this if you're under the light of the bad moon, so that's good. And they have 2 health each. They have a +5 save, which isn't that good, but they can survive. And what you use them for is basically this. You don't want to get charged. You want to be the one who's charging with them, because when they charge, they do a bunch of damage. For example, like so this one is the first damage they do, Boing Smash. If this unit charged this phase, pick an enemy unit within 1 to be the target, roll a d3 on a 2+, inflict the amount of mortal damage to that target equal to the roll. It's not going to be a lot of damage, obviously, but it's still mortal damage, and it's a good start. But the other important things is, like, they have fly, so you can move. They're very agile. You can move over stuff, and they also have this one. So you have +1 damage when you charge with the lances. And as you can see, like, so they hit on 4s and 3s, 3 attacks each with the squigs or the gobs, the teeth of the squigs that they're riding on, and that's up to 4. So that's if you charged because of the squiggle lance, and that will be 40 attacks. So that's very, very good. And the champion also, like, if you have this one, you will get 1 extra attack. So that's 31 attacks and 4s and 4s. Make that an all-out attack on this one. So you get 3s and 3s and 3s and 4s. That's going to be a bunch of damage. I'm just going to show you that right now. This is another site that I recommend, HF Index. You can look at the stats for units. And so let's go to the Boingork Bounders. Here we got them. If you push this button with a die, you can see, like, how much damage it's gonna make. So this is just a 5-man. I'm gonna put reinforced, so you get to see how many attacks you have. And unfortunately, I haven't found a way where you can add like 1 attack to this. I don't know how to do that, but you can add like +1 to hit. So let's see, like, what happens if we hit +1 to hit all out attack, for example. So here you can see, like, how many wounds will go through, or how much damage output will there be on a unit that has a 2+ save, a 3+ save, 4+ save, etc. So imagine this being a reinforced with +1 to hit. Then, for example, you're gonna make 12 damage on average, just from that first attack. And let's add to that you also have like an extra attack here. Then it's gonna be a couple of more here. So that's really, really good. That's why I choose them. And so there are 120 points for 5, 240 reinforced. I think it's a good option. And they can also take the flanks. They can go in the corners. They can, go in from behind. So very useful, but they're not durable. So make sure that you're the one who's charging. Let's go back to the list. And so lastly, we have the squig herds. The squig herd I mostly use as a screen, and they're annoying because they come back. You can use the prodders to bring them back. So you see here in your hero phase, roll a die for each squig herder in this unit. For each 2+, you can return D3 slain cave squigs to this unit. For each one squig herder is slain, so it's eaten by a squig. But that's good, so they're durable. And also, like, if they die, you use the moon to bring 12 back, half of the size of this one. So that's good. They, like, the thing that, like, they do some damage as well. They have this. If you charge, you get, obviously, 1 extra attack with the squiggle lance battle formation. Their movement, not the best, can be very swingy, but since you can re-roll the d6 within the light of the bad moon, it's okay. I put them mostly. I use them as a screen. They only got 1 control score, so they suck at controlling objectives, but they can block off objectives. So use them for that. I would love to have. I will show you a list where I skip these, and I skip the loom boss on the cave squig, and I just go with another Boingard Bounders because that's 20 points missing there. And I have a Fungoid instead, Cave Shaman. I will show that later, but so the squig herd, not that interesting to see. We're gonna go back here and look at the rock guts and why they're so good. Because they are not only tanky, they also bring out a lot of damage. So the boulders, they're not really reliable. You hit on 5s, but they can make decent damage because they wound them too. So, but only 1 attack each. But yeah, I mean, if you have the points for it and make an all-out attack +1 to hit, you see, it can do some damage. It's not like, don't waste it on that. Let's do that because they're reinforced. But range 10. This is their mauls or craggy hands that makes a bunch of damage. So as you can see, they're reinforced, +1 to hit, makes it 3s and 2s, rend 2, damage 3, 2 attacks each. So if you get everyone to throw a punch, you will have 12 attacks with this. And as you can see, like, a lot of people die from this. And they won't, like most armies won't be able to wipe the rockets in a couple of turns. You can lock people up in combat for 2 or 3 turns sometimes. But one thing about it is that if someone puts out -1 attack to you, then you're in a bit of trouble. So think about that when positioning and moving them around. And also try to keep them under the light of the bad moon, because that +1 to save will keep them very durable. And then you can make an all-out defense as well if you need that, if they have a bunch of rend. Yeah, that's that. So this is one list. I'm gonna show it again, and yeah, it's basically it. It's one option. I'm gonna show you another list now. Not that one. Here we go. So this one is the one that I was talking about, where I have the Fungoid Cave Shaman instead. And the Fungoid Cave Shaman, otherwise it's basically the same. You see, it's still 15 rock guts. It's Scragrot. It's the same everything. The difference is this, and I haven't, like, the options here is going to be to make him more. I'm actually going to show you that, because I would do this to him. Let's put it here. I would choose this one. No, not that one. This one instead, because if someone attacks him, he's going to die anyway. So I prefer going with this one. Each time an unmodified hit roll for an attack that targets its unit is 1, inflict 1 mortal damage on the attacking unit after the attack ability has been resolved. Then he at least does some damage, if you're lucky. But I think that's better. This is not like the -1 to hit. He is not durable. He has a 6+ save, so he's gonna die anyways, and he only have 5 health. And here, picking the Loon Touch to give him to add 1 to his casting rolls. What you should use with him is this. Let's see, where is that? Yeah, this one. Once per battle, this ability. Add 1 to this unit's power level for the rest of the turn. And I would use this early. I would use it actually to put up if I use it, I would put up the spell, this spell. Where do we have it? I don't remember the name. Yeah, the cauldron. This one. That makes that gives him +1 power level, and just put it next to him, and then he's a 2-cast wizard for the rest of or for the time that this is up. Yeah, that's that. And now let's go to another list. I hope you find this like useful for you. The list that I'm showing you. That's the list. I think this is very interesting. I haven't tried this list out, but I think like you can tell it's a pretty boring list, not that diverse. But the Boingret Bounders, they're deadly, and the Rockguts, durable and deadly. So I think this will be a pretty good list. Here's a list with 18 Rockguts instead. So, and the reason why I'm putting them all here is because, you know, the battle tactic where you're supposed to kill something in the enemy enemy's general's regiment. They're durable, so put them there, and keep the other ones, the Boingret Bounders, down here because they can die easily. Here's another list then. 1970 points. And yeah, it's like, I don't know why you actually this list. You get 18 Rockguts. That's good. Do you always need 18 Rockguts? Maybe, maybe not. They're very good. It's difficult not to love them. Next list, Bouncy Squiggy. So this one, 15 Rockguts, Bounders, 2 reinforced, and then Squigherd, also reinforced, and the Loom Boss on the giant cave squig. And I think this list is useful as well. So you see I really maxed out the points on some of these lists. 2000, 2000, 1970, 2000, and 2000. So this is with the Gobapalosas, which have a really, really good ability that I'm going to show you. Let's scroll down to them. Here we got them. So the Gobapalosas, they're very durable. 5 models, 3 health each. The save is terrible, but the attacks are like, they're not good. So that's not why you have them. They are a 1-cast wizard, so that's why you have them. And they're also, under the light of the bad moon, they have +3 control score. And here you can see why they are durable, because in the first battle round, they have a ward, 4+ ward, second 5+ ward, and third, and subsequent battle rounds, they have a 6+ ward. So the two, you can just run them up to an objective and hold it. But I would say, like, try to keep them behind the Rockguts, and try to keep them alive so you can use this, because this is very, very, very good if you get it off. And that's the thing, like, I love them. I used to have 2 in my list, but before the update, but now I feel like maybe they're not. I mean, they're very good if you roll a 3+, but if you don't, they're not that good anymore, I don't think. So what you want to do, like this first one, I think is meh. Add 1 to the run and charge rules. I mean, nah, don't use that one. But this one is the best. Pick a friendly Gloomspite Gitz unit within this unit's combat range. Add 1 to the rend characteristic of that unit's weapon until the start of your next turn. So that will last until your next turn, obviously, which is very, very good. So +1 rend. Imagine the Rockguts, for example, having +1 rend. Let's just see what that does, and also with all-out attack. Now all of a sudden, as you can see, like, look at that. That's so much damage that you're gonna put out there. So yeah, I have to think again about them. Maybe I should put them in because they make the rockets very, very strong. I don't know what to remove then. That's what I would use. This one can be good in some situations. Pick a visible enemy unit within 12 until the start of your next turn. That unit cannot use commands. But this is the thing. It's on a 3+, and 2 of these have to be within within Gobapalooza's combat range. You can spread them out, so that's pretty good since there's 5 models. But sometimes you charge in with the rockets, and the Gobapaloozas are left behind, and then since you do this in your hero phase, they're too far away, and you won't be able to even select the first 2 here, or this one, the Nasty Poisons, which is the one you're going to choose. So that's another reason why they can be tricky to play. Yeah, but otherwise, besides that, like this list, I think can be pretty good as well. So in this list, instead of having a bunch of Boingrot Bounders, we just have 10, and then we have a bunch of Squig Herds instead. And I think here the main objective is to try to have the Gobapaloozas boost the rockets, especially the ones with 6 in them, the reinforced ones. Have them put out +1 rend. It can also be very good to do it on the Boingrot Bounders, but that's difficult because the Boingrot Bounders, they bounce away and then you won't see them again if you play like me. Here we have the a list with the Squig Boss. So here I used the new that I was talking about earlier, this new rule set. I don't know where it is. Here it is. Yeah, this one. And I would choose this one if I play with this list and add +2 to movement. Wholly within the Squig Boss. Wholly within 12 of the Squig Boss. So it's this list. Yeah. And as I said earlier, like he's not going to be durable. So if he dies, make him just do some wounds or mortals if you're lucky. But the thing with this is keep him within distance of these, and they have 8 movement. 8 movement. So that's very good. Like they're all of a sudden they're pretty fast. And yeah, I would use that. Otherwise, like the other list, I didn't talk about that, but I think it's difficult to pick which one to pick of these. The honor guard rule. So it depends on who you're up against. So this one I would say not that good because +1 to hit, it saves you an all-out attack, which is good. But I mean the trolls have a 2+ when it comes to wounds, so maybe not the best. And this one is also difficult because you don't always have Skragrott that close to the rockets, so the bodyguard. Before I usually use this one depending on what I'm up against, and I just picked, like, for example, anti-cavalry to get extra rend. But yeah, it's difficult, but usually that's what I pick. But now you can pick this one as well with this list. Otherwise, I would go, most of the time I would go for this one, I would say, yeah. Anyways, let's go back to the list. We have, we have this one that we were talking about. And you see this one is 2,000 points as well. And this is the last list I'm going through. So thank you guys for staying with me for, well, the recording is up to 44 minutes at this moment. I might cut it down a bit because I'm talking and talking and talking. Maybe it's interesting, I don't know. Yeah, besides that, we still have the 15 rockets. We have the Boingret Bounders, reinforced 2 of them, the Fungoid Cave Shaman that I talked about earlier and how to use it, and the Squig Herd, but this time only a 12. So that won't last long. But I mean, it's to fill out the 110 points that I had left. So yeah, that's what I have for you. And when it comes to this, I think we got lucky. It didn't change too much. I mean, the spiders got point drops, and the mangler squigs that were very swingy got a big point drop, and I can see people include them in their list, as I said earlier, and I think that's a viable option. I think Trug isn't good enough to keep it on the list. I think, I mean, up here, it's difficult for me even to build a Moon Clan list. It's difficult to make it good. Then I would probably go with a lot of Boingret Bounders and Squig Herds. I think they're the best of what you see here. You could actually also then try to include some fanatics. They might be useful. And also, I think if you play a Moon Clan list, Sneaky Snufflers are useful. They can boost stuff around them, which is very good. So that's like something you can use. The Fellwater Troggoths, they're not good enough. And the Shoot Us and Stab Us, I don't think they do much either. The Snarlfang Riders, yeah, you can use them to move around. Not that interesting though, not for me. Squig Hoppers, I haven't talked about them, but they are, I think, for what you get for 170 points, is not like, add a little bit and you get the Boingret Bounders, which are just better. The Squig Hoppers are decent, but it's difficult to pull off them or pull off their ability in a good way. So it's when they pass over something, you get to do damage. But you have to end like, we have to move through them or touch the base and go out. And it's for every model in the Squig Hopper unit. So you might not even reach with everything. Yeah, that's it. Another interesting, but I don't think as good list would be to put the Kragnos in and still have a bunch of rock guts, and maybe also have something that gives them like the +2 move with the new honor guard rules set. Yeah. Well, as I said, thanks for watching. If you want me to make more videos like this, let me know. And if there's any other army you want me to look into or anything like that, let me know. I will also soon enough have a giveaway on this channel. So, why not subscribe? The giveaway might only be sent to people in Sweden. I'm not sure. So stay tuned. And yeah, until next time, take care. My name is Edwin, by the way. And yeah, I just wanted to put that out there. So now you know. That's why the channel is called The Life of Ed. Okay, so take care. Bye.